Hi, how are you today? In this video, we're going to talk about the reason why people self-harm and how to talk to them about it. This topic is potentially triggering, so if this topic is triggering for you, skip this video. But may I suggest that you talk to a mental health professional near you about this, because it's important that you take good care of yourself. I'm Huey. I'm a licensed professional counselor at Heart to Heart with Me. I post mental health education videos on a weekly basis. Self-harm. It is also known as non-suicidal self-injury. As the name suggests, people who self-harm has no intention to end their lives. It is the act of deliberately inflicting pain and damage to their own body. It involves cutting, scratching, burning, etc., etc. There are a lot of myths about this act of self-harm. I talk about them in this video. Check them out if you haven't already. We have covered what self-harm is, and let's dive into the why. Why do people harm themselves? Number one, to shift the focus. Sometimes people harm themselves because they are spiraling in troubling thoughts and emotions, and it's difficult to just come out from it. And the physical pain that they inflict on themselves catches the attention of the brain in a very compelling way. It shifts the attention, and that helps them to be released from that spiraling thoughts and emotions. Number two, to release pent-up emotions. Sometimes when we are furious or sad or even morose, it's difficult for us to release those emotions, and it's possible that you learn that self-harming could help you to release that emotion, and therefore that's the mechanism that you used over the years to cope with intense emotions. Number three, to feel something when we are numb or dissociated. Sometimes people who experience traumatic experience would cope by disassociating. And in this dissociative state, people may not remember the terrible things that happened to them. It is a clever way that our body tries to protect ourselves and ensure survival. However, if you are in this dissociative state a lot, it is very painful as well. The physical pain that happens when one self-harm helps them to regain the feelings again. Number four, it's a form of self-punishment. Sometimes, somewhere, somehow, the person learned to believe that they are no good and deserve to be punished. And that's when they feel the need to inflict pain on themselves. Above are some of the reasons why people would harm themselves. It is important to understand that even though the act of self-harm is not a suicide attempt, it comes with risk as well, because the act of self-harm is a coping mechanism, and you are going through a lot in your life that led you to this coping mechanism. Furthermore, the feelings of guilt and shame almost always come together with self-harm, and this may worsen the struggle that you are experiencing. So please seek help. Talk to a mental health professional near you, because you don't have to just be on survival mode. I want you to thrive in life. So, how do we talk to our children if we suspect that they are harming themselves? First, take a deep breath and try to remain calm, because sometimes when parents notice that their children are self-harming, the immediate response is to scold them and order them to stop, because you are unsure of what to do and you panic. That's why you reacted that way. So try your very best to stay calm, because in that moment in time, what they really need from you is compassion and guidance. They need to know that you love them and you will be there for them no matter what. If the wound is fresh, take them to the doctor to minimize the risk of infection. If it is scars that you see, it is important that you stay calm and let them know that you love them and you care about them, and that you want to help them. You can help them by bringing them to a mental health professional near you and educating yourself about this topic, why people do what they do, how to support them in the process. The most important piece of information I want you to take away as a parent is that you must let your child know that you love them very much and that you want to be there for them no matter what. If you are a teenager and you notice that your friend is self-harming, it is not your responsibility to fix it. You may provide support, but it is not your responsibility to fix it. You can support them by being there for them and suggest that they talk to maybe their parents or school counselors or an adult that they trust. If you are still worried that they won't get help, you can talk to your parents or an adult that you trust so that they can get help. If you are an adult and you notice that your friend is self-harming, take a deep breath and try to remain calm. You can support them by giving them the space to talk about their struggles. But do not guilt trip them by saying things like, when you self-harm, you are hurting the people around you too, because they already feel a lot of guilt and shame for their actions. So you saying that won't help the situation. Just listen without judgment, be there for them, and suggest that they get help by talking to a mental health professional, or you can help them to get help. At the end of the day, no matter who it is that you discovered is self-harming, the most important thing that you can do for them is to be there for them and help them to get help. If you find this information helpful, give us a like and subscribe. Comment down below and let us know the question that you have about this topic. If this topic interests you, watch this next video. You are encouraged to use the information in this video to improve your mental health. However, it is not a substitute for professional help.